Yep. That's probably not right.
Perfect.
How about that? Doug was inverted a minute ago. I was watching his camera as we were waiting for the show to begin, and Doug was inverted and then mirrored, and then we have a show. Hello,
Mover. How are you?
Just us girls. Oh,
yeah.
Didn't change the overlay. See, we're on the wrong date.
Is it episode 37 or 38?
Oh, it's definitely not 720. One moment, please. I will fix it.
Good thing these shows are live and we can go back and, edit stuff.
We don't ever do that, though.
Fix it in post.
There's no post here. Everything is live and unscripted.
That's what makes it special.
Because it ain't the news or nothing.
Unfiltered.
Fixed it. Hello, Gonky, sir.
Hello, Mover. How are you?
Great. Thanks for asking.
What's been going on?
Sitting here.
It's been a whole week again.
Ever since the last show. There's been nothing to report.
No flying? No.
And you, what's broken?
Me.
Burners. Tell them about your burners.
Yeah, I've got.
I need to know if people care as much as I don't.
Well, you asked me earlier.
So, the air conditioner, refrigerator, but my burners are broken. Let's see if we get the sympathy that we need for this show. Please continue.
If the stove doesn't work, how's Gonky gonna eat? Right?
Because it's called a microwave or an air fryer. Get an air fryer, Gonky.
Dude, that takes up so much counter space. My wife doesn't.
An air fryer?
We had one. Yeah.
I've got 2 of them. They don't take up counter space.
Dude, you are in command of a one-person command, okay?
Do you need some leadership lessons? Speaking of that, did you finish your school?
I did. I don't know. Yeah. I'm waiting on my final grade, so I finished. Yes.
I heard, Doug, you can clarify this, but I heard the kids these days, an A is like in the 80s now. Is that right? I was reading a thing. It was like 85 to 100's an A, and then a C is in the 70s.
Not in our official grade scale.
What's an A? What's an A in your world? In the
90 to 100.
All right.
See, even that's different from the old Catholic school that I went to, because that was 94 to 100.
What?
Yeah,
that's harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was failing?
F.
Well, I know, but what was 74?
69 and below is failing.
B- was failing in grad school. That's
anything below 70.
Wow. Yeah. I'd say I'm doing about I'm hovering around a 70 in life in general right now. So.
I mean, D's get degrees.
Yeah, that's right.
Tagging her along in the 50th percentile.
Right. That's right. Right. The guy in med school who finished last.
That's right in the middle, Douglas. I don't understand the problem. It's right there.
Yeah.
Right. The curve. You're right there at the peak.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, Gonky, I interrupted your sob story. Please continue and tell me about your stoves.
Nothing. It's nothing. Mover asked me earlier what was broken in my house. I said,
no. You enunciated to me just randomly 2 out of 4 burners are out. I'm like, are you flying a B1? What does that mean? Burners. What are we even talking about?
50%. 50% of my burners.
You don't fly anything with a burner.
6 turning and 4 burning.
That's right.
Yeah. What are you, a B1?
No.
So please explain. And
they're just stove burners, man. They got 4 of them. 2 of them quit working. So
all right. So send all donations to Gonky.
Electric or gas?
Electric, dude. I've already replaced one of the dual one, the inner and outer, but
Wombat's supposed to be in the chat trolling us.
Hopefully he chimes in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet.
He just messaged me.
Yeah.
Says he was going to troll us in the comments.
Good. We need it.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps us honest, man.
Liven things up.
Oh, here you go. 1,000 joules.
Air travel.
Air travel.
There's joules now?
It sucks. Air travel sucks, and I don't want to do it.
I agree.
That's why I quit.
I agree, dude. It's not.
It's so funny. I got into a X discussion with a dude that was 100% a new hire for American.
Oh, really?
I could tell. I could I quoted this article. It was a guy complaining about American. And he was talking about how, it's not as good as an airline, blah, blah, blah. And all I said was American Airlines is just a rebranded America West / US Airways, because it's true. America West merged with US Airways. Doug Parker ended up taking over the whole show. It's really just a big regional with a American Airlines paint job. It is not the same airline as what, we used to fly on. That was actually a decent product. And this kid, I could tell immediately, because he's like, well, we have the youngest, he didn't say we, he goes, they have the youngest fleet and they've done the most investing. I'm like, dude, everyone in NDOC that I've ever talked to has ever said these, like, but the budget sheets and they're turning a profit here and they're going to turn this ship around. And I'm just like, I hope you have a great career, man. I really don't hold anything against the airline, but I was like, when did you start? I don't like to do my personal business. And okay.
he's probably literally just reading the slides, man, of NDOC.
No, I mean, because I remember that. You go to NDOC and they're all rah. They give you the presentations and you're either NDOC or you're one of those people that are like, you've got the job offer, the CJO, and you're reading Airline Pilot Central. And, you're like, we got the best balance sheet. It doesn't matter that we're going to lose money next quarter. And it doesn't matter that we, are only 88 million versus everybody else that's, in the hundreds of millions in profit. It doesn't matter that. It doesn't matter that everybody hates us. What matters is we've got the newest fleet. And, okay, that's cool. But you can just tell. You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I flew last week once. And it was actually fun because I hadn't done it in a while. And, you kind of get sucked back into whatever's going on. And it's nice to be able to distance myself.
From that, because I understand it because I drank some of the Kool-Aid too. And in fact, my most embarrassing moment in life is my conversation I had with T-Bear. And I'm for the first time publicly admitting this, that I fell victim to this.
We're live, dude. No take backs.
Yeah, no takes backs. So I was in 737 school, which that's how you know this is bad. This is going to be horrific. Brace yourself. I was in 730. I was staying at the Candlewood, which in hindsight is the biggest piece of crap hotel you'll ever stay in your entire life. But at the time, I'm like, this isn't bad. It's snowing outside. I've got a refrigerator. This 12-inch TV is fine. I'm studying my 737 knowledge, and I'm talking to T-Bear. And it was right after I got hired. So for those that don't know, I got hired right after my time at 204 ended. So I was flying the Hornet. The kidney thing happened. I couldn't stay in the Navy Reserve. I was transferring to the Air Force Reserve. And so I had this gap. And luckily, I was starting the airline. And I'm sitting there and studying. And I'm talking to T-Bear. And I'm like, man, I'm really enjoying this. And T-Bear, of course, fighter pilot. Never been anything but a fighter pilot, And he's like, well, you're never going to have a mission. I'm like, the mission is moving people. It's getting people safely from point A to point B. I'm like, you know what? I might not even go fly the old T-38, which in hindsight, that probably would have been a good idea, but for different reasons. This is so awesome. I don't need it. He's like, you're gonna regret that. You don't mean that. I'm like, no, I mean it. I got a mission now. This is fun. I'm flying the sim, and yeah, it took like 3 months for him to be 100% right, for me to be wrong.
Dude, there's only one mission in civilian flying. That's not get fired.
Don't get fired. Don't die. Don't get violated. Don't die. Don't kill anybody.
That's literally the measure.
Don't lose half your stuff.
Right. Don't forget your shades.
Yeah. Don't forget your stuff there.
Yeah.
Your kit bag.
Yeah. There's no, man, that guy's a great stick. No.
Yoke. You're a great yoke.
Depends on what you're flying, mover.
That's true. Gonky would be a great stick.
Yeah, but I'm not really. So.
Anyway, very, very embarrassing moment because I was like, and this company's awesome and they care about me and it's going to be the greatest. Oh, I'm going to be 65 years old and seniority number 143.
Was that what it was going to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many ex-wives?
Dude, I was looking at houses in Dallas,
I remember that part.
Thing, man.
Air park houses. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Air park. Back when they were $400,000 instead of $1 million.
Yeah. It's
remember
not
that?
all.
That changed.
It ain't all sunshine and rainbows, man.
Nope. But anyway, thanks for the jewels and for that trip down memory lane. Don't know what a jewel is, but we're going to thank you anyway.
I thought that was a Twitch thing. Was it a Twitch thing?
I think YouTube is going down that path. I saw a thing about it on the StreamYard. It was talking about it, but I guess I don't know. Amish Kid says, can you explain AMRAAMs without fins? I cannot. For many reasons. But thank you. Start where you are.
Mover and Gonky like freedom.
Yeah. You would probably need to go to another channel for that. Not this one. But thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't at all times.
We need that as a sound.
Diesel Dan, what's up, homie? Buddy, I scored something for you at the new store up here in Canuckistan. Can you remind us of your P.O. box, sir? Much love from California.
Just
after what you said in the stream last night.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know.
Mover would have to get up from his seat.
Yeah, I have it. Look, dude, Walmart delivers groceries. Post office needs to learn how to deliver from my P.O. box.
Cleaning lady has her own car. I mean, what more do you need?
Like, I got it pretty set up that I don't have to leave the Fortress of Solitude. And you're pulling me out. And not in a good way.
It's funny.
You can always, well, anyway. Jay Walker says Gonky needs MREs. See? Common solutions. Don't those things have the little heater thing?
Yeah, you lean it on a rock or something.
Yeah.
Dude, I've only eaten a handful of those things, and I've never heated one up. I just eat it cold. Marine style.
It's half the fun, man. Smelling the fumes.
Is it? Yeah.
Speaking of American Airlines, Chris would like to know, are you guys going to cover the American flight that had to divert to Luke due to emergency fuel? I am familiar with it. We weren't going to cover it because now it's like 2 weeks old, but I have questions. I mean, Sky Harbor is kind of it can be a bit of a shit show.
I know.
Like it's a very busy airport and it's a hub, in fact, we just was talking about that, America West. And that's why, anyway, the Westies. So, I could see them having to hold and, looking down and being like, Luke is right there, but I don't know if it's far enough. Like, why not just declare an emergency? You already declared an emergency. Why not just declare an emergency, get priority handling, bump everybody else out of the way and go to a real airport?
Yeah, typically, especially at Air Force Base, they don't like you landing without PPR and some orders.
It's possible. It's a thing. Like you can
do it.
Emergency divert. It's just I'm pretty sure everybody at base ops and everywhere were like, what do we do with these people? But there could have been weather also affecting like an approach corridor or something. Like, I don't know the specifics of it. There was an F-35 that caused, I think, San Francisco to shut down recently.
Oh, really?
It had an emergency and it landed and it had to go to like the Coast Guard ramp. Had to get towed clear. Yeah. It caused a big kerfuffle. Tankerman says the Monday Man's show with planes. Hell yeah.
Thanks, Tanker.
Thanks, Tanker. Spider says, hi, all new Halo is out after party gaming. Yeah, I've heard people are not happy about it. Vinay says, happy to see Kennedy Steve's new channel on the YouTube, but was off to a great start until he did a collab with pilot whose name rhymes with Captain Meow. No comment. Corvette World Rob says, just saying hi, guys. Hi, Rob. And EFK 1993, off-topic question, but you guys think the military should finally permit type 1 diabetics to join if they're in good health? We're all but banned. Which one is type 1?
I don't know.
Do you need a shot for that?
I don't know.
I mean, you could probably join and like be in finance or something. Like,
we are. That's right. I don't know. It depends, man.
That one does require a shot.
Yeah, you're not going to fly with that.
No,
not fighters. I mean, because think about it's the deployed location, right? So what happens when you're, you don't have access to that? That's always the biggest problem. It's not home drone where we have rather large people that sit around all day, but it's downrange, the actual mission where we fight wars.
Right.
Pumps are a thing now. That should help some.
Okay, but if it falls off,
it's like a week, a month, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
still not infinite.
If you're in a tent, I don't know.
I mean, I don't even think. I mean, you're not going to be a ground, a grunt either, or a rifleman. Or whatever.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So,
no. The best you can hope for is the Air Force, maybe the Navy, because I mean they could probably stock up the ship.
Dude, they run out of stuff.
Do they really?
Yeah.
What have they run out? They ever run out of toilet paper?
No. I haven't run out of toilet paper, man. But I mean, during combat, right? I mean, like it's the whole question of, when they need you most is when there's actual combat and logistics get strained. That's like one of the first things that happens, right? So, I mean, the healthier you are, the better chance, you're going to have.
Yeah, I can say that is well outside our wheelhouse.
100%.
Like beyond, as you know, none of us knew what that meant. So we're not the ones to be necessarily asking. That's like step one.
Well, I know. So, I mean, it's similar to the asthma
here we go.
thing, right?
Gonky's learned something. Here we go. What do we got?
No, it's just similar to the asthma thing. Like if you have asthma, right, you got to have an inhaler with you all the time. And that was the thing I fought when I tried to get in the Marines and I tried to get in the Air Force, was the whole inhaler piece. Like you can't be dependent.
They did you a favor. Not going to the Marines?
Valid. Yeah. Well, things were a little tougher back then. So that was in the 90s. So yeah. You're right though, Mover. That's right. As a blessing.
Speaking of that, Garrett says, "What's up, gents? Gonky, you were right. The Pensacola Museum was sick. I saw Blue Angel #3 land after his fun on the beach.
Wow.
It was VT21. Loved your video in the event. It's good fun. Also, meow." A lot of people did not like that video.
Man, we got rolled in, dude.
On the event. I wouldn't say we got rolled in. I said people just mad.
We're mad. I just I don't read comments much, but I did see a couple that were just they can't separate the fact that like everybody on the team is trying to do their best. Like, why are people so harsh? I mean, it's a very hard job. It's like they're at the pinnacle of air show flying, So I don't know, man. You make a mistake and some people want you career.
Oh, don't I know?
I know. Well, valid. So, yeah.
Crazy Pete says, Mombat support fund, not that she needs it, right? Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Mombat said, just tuning in now, maybe a Mombat shout out, surgery tomorrow. So shout out to Mombat.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers
She's
for her.
Surgery tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
yeah. Jonathan says, have you guys heard of November 30 Charlie Victor? Yes.
What is that?
Yes. So there's this dentist, orthodontist, some dental field. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know what people do. But he adds a citation. And the story begins where he is talking to a female controller, and he's trying to get this approach into somewhere in California. And he wants to do a wide base. And they're like, you can't do that because you're going to be in LAX's airspace. And so they vector him, and then he wants to do the RNAV. And they're like, well, we can't vector you final on the RNAV because we don't have the rights. It's not published, blah, blah, blah. And they gets into a very heated conversation with this female controller who is only trying to help him. Well, the story continues because apparently he gets into it with another controller, like either the next day or the same day. And they're like, possible pilot deviation, advised with ready to copy. And he's like, I can't, the sun's in my eyes. I can't write anything down right now. And then he lands and they try to get the ops truck to go get him. And it's like ground saying, hey, just let the guy know if he calls us, it's a lot better than, if he does whatever. And he's like, yep, I know. And he just won't call him, won't get the number, just, closes the door, leaves his airplane. And the internet is abuzz about him because he sounds very angry.
Heaven forbid a pilot make a mistake.
I don't think that he is in that category, my friend.
You don't think so?
I think he's a little bit different realm.
I remember seeing the headlines for it, but I did not listen to the I didn't listen to the conversation, but
it's pretty bad.
It's usually poor judgment to fight on the radio.
He does not come off as a sympathetic character in this particular drama.
I did not feel empathy for him.
You did?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Well, he's got his own jet, so I'm envious.
He does have his own jet.
Yeah. Clearly a better man than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was very upset. And that's what happens when you get upset. Thomas says, Mover, any luck on no free trips through the HUD? That's Gonky's department. So I yield the floor.
Working it.
Are you?
Well, we got some fan mail today that cut into the t-shirt budget a little bit, possibly. So
it means we need the t-shirt budget even more.
That's true, but it's like a catch-22, man.
I love how you call it fan mail because I'm sitting here like fan mail. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. Matt says, my buddy on the submarine ran out of dip and we got extended 2 to 3 weeks. He then laid his used dip out on his mattress to dry it out just to redip it. Yes, people run out of stuff in the Navy.
Dude. As horrible as that is, I 1000% I believe it.
It's like reusing your cruise sock.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, Mover.
Yeah, I guess so. Crayons for Dinner says, excited to talk Greyhounds tonight. They will always have a special place in my heart. Got a trap on the GW as an enlisted Marine infantryman. Visit Pops after not seeing him for few years. Damn it. Now we have to cover that.
It made the thumbnail. I mean, come on.
You got to do better than that, Gonky. Full Afterburner USA says they don't allow Type 1s yet allowed them. That's a word salad. What are we saying until very recently? Wow.
Oh, yet they allowed. I got you.
Missed a word.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Husky. Hey, speaking of Husky, he's talking about the Husky and that's a Husky Aviat or whatever, right? The AV1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the tail.
I was thinking Luna. Here's what I want to do, Gonky.
What?
Get a Lancer 4P and do 50 states in 50 days with Luna. It's my grand vision.
Like land in all 50?
Land in all 50 states with her.
Does the touch and go count?
No, like stop, get out, let her go pee on something. Let Luna pee on something in all 50 states.
All 50 states, dude.
Which means I'll pee on something too because I have no bladder control whatsoever.
If you were gone from mainland Alaska, would you have to stop in Canada?
Oh, shit. That's right. There's those states. Okay.
What about Hawaii?
Dude, the 48. The 48. All right. I forgot. 48. I forgot about those 2 states. The 48. The lower 48. I want to do the lower 48. All right. Don't geography me here. It sounded like a good idea in my head. 48 states in 48 days.
Yeah. We'll get you one of those United States maps that you see on RVs, and you can just color them in as you make your way across
the lower 48 in 48 days. That's what we're doing.
It's doable. Yeah, you're gonna have some multi-leg days, dude.
Garrett says the amount of kids that want to be military pilots because of that movie is high. That's the blue and gold mission. I agree with your takes. Your guys take F everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's just a dead horse, man. It shouldn't have been as big of a deal as it was. That's it. That's just. Well, Afterburner would like to go over November 30, Charlie Victor. I didn't hear about this.
Yep.
If you can find the audio, Doug, I'll go over later. But you know where you can't go, so it limits your options severely. Tom says, "Thanks for your service, gentlemen. Air power all the way."
Thank you.
CC Ryder 66 says, "Not a better man, just more money."
Yeah. The citation, the
thanks for that.
The 30 November Victor, dude.
I was trying to figure that out. Yeah,
I was being sarcastic
about what?
Him being a better man than me because he has more money.
Yeah,
more money, more problems. He probably has 4 burners. Spare Vessel says, "Don't know if you have seen it, but the RAF put out a cool cockpit video of F-18 demo from the air show at the Big 20 Nation training exercise Darwin." That's on the list somewhere buried in there.
Somewhere, yeah. You're right. That is a really cool video, especially.
Ellie says, "For Luna's epic potty tour of the U.S." See, we've already got a name for it. Luna owns the lower 48.
Oh, dude.
Because in Dog World, if you pee on it, it's yours.
She's going to be she's going to own
Supreme
America.
Leader.
Supreme leader of the lower 48.
Luna.
Wait, did you say Supreme Leaner? That would be really funny.
Jonathan says, "Have you or would you all want to ferry light jets to Europe?" 30 Charlie Victor had LAX shut down for him. Is this a job offer?
Depends. What is it in?
What kind of light jet are we talking? Well, light jet means 2 engines. I'd do it.
I think it'd be fun.
As long as Luna could come.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time. Oh, dude, you might customs.
Well, I'm not getting out. I'm going to... Oh, right. I need something to ferry me back. That's the problem, is you have to commercial back.
Right.
I would ferry them back and forth.
Back and forth.
Then you just work for NetJets at that point.
That's right. That's right. You're just the business jet pilot.
It's NetJets with more steps. All right. Doug has a video. All right. Are you doxing anybody, Doug? Have we checked?
I fixed it.
Every time you look at Facebook, it scares me.
Usually only me. Yeah, here we go.
Hit it.
I'll do it when I'm ready.
All right, start over.
I got the sun in my eyes.
Start over.
I'm trying.
Okay, here, I do have a phone number for you. Advise ready to copy.
I'll do it when I'm ready. I got the sun in my eyes, so just give me a progressive taxi.
No worries. It's the next one is the one you're going to turn left on. The next one's Foxtrot. It's sort of lined up here with this 4 Kilo Sierra that's in Saab.
Yes, sir. I got it now. Thank you. Sun's in my eyes. I can see now. Thank you, sir. Charlie Victor.
November 0 Charlie Victor. Still just advise ready to copy. November 30 Charlie Victor. Torrance ground. Mobile 102 Torrance ground. I need you to go ask that citation to get back on the radio. I've got something I need to read to them. They said they'd advise when ready to copy, and they are just leaving the cockpit.
Copy that. I'll handle there.
I kind of starting to like
Yeah, he's
the dude,
refusing.
just
So
he's
nothing I can do.
such an...
Okay. Well, then I guess the last thing for me, just say, like, we still have to fill out the paperwork, and we're going to be putting in that he refused to talk, and that generally makes it worse. So whatever he wants to do is on him, but...
Yeah, he's aware of that. He's familiar with the feds, so that's what he's...
Roger. Okay. I appreciate the help.
He's familiar with the Fed. He probably is the Fed.
That was the second incident.
Jack, do you have the first one?
I'll go look for it.
Dude, the sun is in my... Dude.
Well, in the first one, the sun's in his eyes, too. Like, he's like, I can't find the airport. The sun's in my eyes. It's like, dude needs to be...
Dude, okay.
Like, somebody with sunglasses needs to sponsor this man.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say give him a 90-degree vector and then be like, okay, now ready to copy?
Thomas says, let me know when you land in Rhode Island. Be an honor to meet you in Luna. That's another state. Damn, dude. I need a map.
I told you, we'll get you the RV map.
Well, first, I need an aeroplane.
Well, that's true.
Step 1. I'd really like an Epic which I'm told they sponsor YouTubers. So
Is that a $5 million airplane?
correct, but they sponsor YouTubers. So I will gladly do a North America world tour with your aeroplane, me and Luna.
Yeah.
Or hear me out, Boeing. I'll take an EX. She can ride in the back. Lockheed Martin.
At this point,
Block
it's
70.
T7.
I'll take a T7. Pretty much any manufacturer that says, Mover, we love your idea. Here's an airplane.
We now love your products.
Yes. We can be bought.
Yeah.
Or sponsored is the word.
Sponsored,
the kids,
correct.
what the
Not
kids
bought.
use
You
these days.
use the language in the business, bro.
You got to use what they say here. Renee says, Gonky, you can have 2 more burners. It's called a grill.
I've got one of those.
Yeah,
too.
turn in your RAN card, dude. This is
All
these
burners
things
work on the grill.
recommend no burner. Remember that?
One of these days, I'm
remember
going
that?
to tell the story why. I remember why.
Remember that? No, you can, dude. The statute of limitations has run out. That was 2022, and that was 2019, dude. Everyone involved has been retired.
I had the highest essay in that flight.
You had no essay. None of us.
There was a reason why I said no burners.
Tell us, Gonky, why?
Because there's a certain speed that you don't exceed with the travel pod, sir.
Okay. All right. Doug says he's got the original. Oh, Barry Seal. We'll continue our epic saga. So this is the beginning.
Yeah, it's on Instagram, so it may start in the middle.
Towards the field,
Let's see what happens.
Oh God.
Head now.
30 Charlie Victor, you said you wanted the visual for runway 11, so I'm paralleling you towards the field. You asked to be request to be as close to the field as you could.
30 Charlie Victor, if this isn't done in 30 seconds, I'll declare emergency and I'm going to do an RNAV so I can land the jet where I'm supposed to safely. Not going to be over the mountain and come in, so it's either going to be a left one. Okay. All right, we're going to have to, if we don't get this right or get it right, we're going to declare an emergency and come in on the RNAV like it should be. This is not a published approach, and you don't take a jet over Palo 30.
I'm not sure why you're yelling at me. You asked for the visual. You asked to get close to the field. I'm putting you close to the field. And
don't put me over the mountain. So, okay, I'm just
watch the mountains, man.
Right, we're not going over Palo 30, so I'll go ahead and do the published RNAV with the feds have. Make your decision.
30 Charlie Victor, I need you to calm down. Do you want the RNAV for 29 right?
No. Make your decision. RNAV, 11 left, or make it go right now. We're making a right-hand turn right now. I'm going to go down to publish minimums and do a right turn. You've got me over. We're supposed to be doing a left, correct?
30 Charlie Victor, you turn left heading 180, vectors for coordination.
It's a negative, ma'am. You're supposed to make a left base for 11.
30 Charlie Victor, your options are you can do the visual or you can turn left heading 180 and I can vector you for the RNAV approach 11, but I have to coordinate.
Now, what heading do you want me now?
180.
180, 3rd Charlie Victor. What we're doing is the RNAV for 11, even though you're saying it's a vectoring.
30 Charlie Victor, they're not going to give you direct the fix. They're trying to figure it out right now because they don't have the final, so they're trying to pull up the fixes. You said that you didn't want the RNAV for 29 right to circle. I asked you if you wanted the visual. You said you wanted to do the visual and get close to the field and get low, and then you just kept stepping on me. So maybe that's where the confusion was.
Ma'am, I was already instructed by the other people before I came in with the approach. We were going to do a wide circle left base for one left.
Yes, for the visual, and that's what I was trying to help you out with. And then you started yelling at me, so you can stand by while we coordinate. Turn left heading 120.
30 Charlie Victor, if this isn't done in 30 seconds, I'll declare emergency and I'm going to do an RNAV so I can land the jet where I'm supposed to safely. That's published on the RNAV. So you got 1 minute or we're going to declare emergency.
30 Charlie Victor, Roger. I'll show you declaring an emergency, and what would you like to do?
I'd like to do a wide left circle to land.
So you want the visual approach?
If it's a left base, yes.
All right, 30 Charlie Victor, Torrance Airport is 9 o'clock and 9.5 miles.
Okay, vector me down because I got sun in my eyes and I got clouds here, and that wasn't what was originally set up for agreed to. So I will go ahead and do a wide turn.
30 Charlie Victor, fly heading 020.
020, Charlie Victor.
Thursday, souls on board and fuel remaining.
I have 7 souls on board, and fuel is right now 3,000 pounds.
Wow, dude.
There's more, dude. There's more. No, there's more because Then he gets vectored. He can't see the field. The sun's in his eyes. Like they stop departures out of LAX so that he can go do this. It's a whole thing.
Dude, he ain't ever flying again. I mean, they had to stop. If they stopped LAX for this guy,
I believe that guy has 6 friends that'll fly with him.
You know, it's as an instructor, it's eye-opening because I remember both civilian and military trying to instill to my students, like, listen, be assertive with ATC. Like,
he's definitely got that down.
Like, they work for you, you know.
Is he one of your students?
This dude, I'm like, oh, okay. Pull it back a little, dude. Yeah.
This dude sounds like he's on the phone with Amazon. Like his package is missing and he's like, you will find a replacement.
Like, I feel sorry for the controller. I mean, she's literally like, hey, visual means do whatever. Like,
she sounds very sweet.
Very nice. Like, she handled it way better than.
She's just laughing at him in the background, though, which is even making it worse.
Yeah. I mean, there's 6 other people with this guy, which is a scary thing. I mean,
it's all his dental assistants.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure they're, I mean, I feel bad they have to work for him.
You ever wonder why cleaning is so expensive? It's this.
Yeah, he's just boring holes in the sky with his citation. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah.
Hey.
You know what the visual? I can't see. The sun's in my eyes and there's clouds everywhere. It's like,
hi, I'm an emergency. Get
out of wartime and peacetime. And
oh, dude, that's great.
That's bad, dude. I have not heard that. And that is, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, maybe you should have.
It wouldn't surprise me. The FAA just,
I had him on speed dial, dude. You're like, oh, not that, not again.
I mean, all the airtime that dude just clobbered. Maybe they rolled him over to single frequency. It's like, all right, let's go. We have one dedicated person to talk to you.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. That's crazy.
Crazy Pete says, what an ace hole.
Man.
CC Ryder says, epic Luna trip around the lower 48. Thank you, CC Ryder, but I need a Lancer. So
4P.
A 4P.
Not just a Lancer.
Yeah, 4P.
Did you have a Lancer?
I had a Glacier.
Glacier, sorry.
And it was quite the disaster. I was a lot younger back then, so it'll probably be more disastrous now. But, you know, I need something pressurized for Luna.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put oxygen on her.
Mm.
All right. But thank you. Anyway, CC Ryder, appreciate you. Yeah. See, nobody cares about your burners. Everybody cares about the Luna trip. Crisco says, good news. Boeing agreed to your sponsorship offer. Bad news. It's a V-22 to deliver 3-ply toilet paper to the boat. God.
Yeah.
Punishment's worse than the crime. Jonathan says there's a vid of his tantrum the next AM. Isn't that the one we just did? Am I behind?
No, that's more.
There's another one?
I'm pretty sure. It's like after the one where he wouldn't talk to the guy in the tower, then he took off the next morning, I think, if I'm following it correctly.
Oh, dude. Wait a minute. They let him get back in the airplane? And
dude, at this point, the police cars have to be doing like in the movies.
100%. That's right.
Chasing him down the runway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you can find that, Doug, geez and Pete's.
Yeah.
Alex says someone needs a timeout in the corner. See, Alex has better manners.
100%.
Not that we expected anything less.
No.
Thomas says, recommend full up burner. The temperature is 104 degrees. Holy crap, it's gonky. Full afterburner says, damn, bro. Yeah, Felon needs more than some shades. He needs to be sponsored by, Flying Eye sunglasses? Renee says, so isn't him declaring a false emergency illegal? They don't like that. But he's going to argue, well, I didn't declare the emergency. She did.
Yeah.
Sharkbait says, RE30CV regarding. Years ago, I heard a controller say, turn left heading 145, leave my control zone and never come back. Fun fact, that's what I tell everybody when I'm defensive. Leave my control zone and don't ever come back.
Yeah, they never listen to me, though. So
that's because we're never defensive, only slightly less offensive.
That's right.
66cc Rider says, I think they cost more than my cars. About the same, really.
Yeah.
About the same. Crayons for Dinner says, Luna deserves one of the Maverick Act Tomcats. There you go.
There you go.
Tomcats.
We'll be looking for pilots, maybe.
400 Joules Eagle. Thank you, Trouble. Again, thanks. Apache says 30 Charlie Victor has type 1, so no. What's the one? Type 2 where you get the Jardians? What is this? Mover, you need a bigger plane so Olivia can ride up front. So I do one interview with a news anchor, and
remember?
Yes.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Just John Doe says Vast Aviation YouTube has the next morning departure recording. I don't know this channel.
Oh man.
Jonathan says held him to copy the number and went berserk. Yeah. All right, Gonky. It's time for our first topic. 43 minutes into it.
Second, dude, we covered the citation.
Does that
kind
count?
of? I don't know.
If Doug ever finds his video 3,
we can piece it together.
It's difficult to track down from the sources that we approve of.
in a manner that will not get us violated.
That's right.
All right. So, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane. They just say Kane here. F-16 scores first air-to-air kill against Russian Su-35 flanker E. Roll the tape, Douglas. It's 6 seconds, so he doesn't really say.
I'll note that recently we had the first air-to-air kill where a Ukrainian F-16 shot down a Russian fighter. I'll note.
Yeah, so there's some confusion on that, and that's kind of where we're talking. There wasn't an identification of when that happened, just that it happened, and Ukrainian media referenced a statement from the country's Air Force on July 8th, which claimed to have shot down a Su-35 over eastern Ukraine. We covered, and I don't know when we covered it, but we covered an event where F-16s did an ambush cap and took down the flanker of some variety. And this is either a second one or just the one we already talked about, confirmed by the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Gonky, what are you thinking about this?
Well, I mean, sadly, that conflict is still going on, man. So, I mean, it's inevitable. I know the internet peoples are going to take this opportunity to point out how crappy the Russian fighters are and how great the U.S. fighters are. And I'd agree with them because I'm biased and American. But, I mean, you're talking about 2 4th-gen jets, very capable. And I'd have to see the details of how the engagement played. I would say that probably, the Ukrainian forces have the advantage as far as being the defenders. You always seem to have the advantage when you got the home field advantage. But that being said, man, we've seen a lot of unique things happen in the Ukraine-Russia war in the last couple of years, man. So I think, sadly, I think we're going to see more of this. And I looked, I didn't see where, did the flanker pilot eject or,
Well, here's your inception level. We covered this.
Right. Yeah.
But this is different.
Right.
This was 3 months ago.
Right. Right. They ambush cap. That's right.
They used and there's footage of that one. So if that's correct, of July 8th, unless he's referencing this specific thing that we've already covered, that means it's a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I looked, man, I didn't see. I mean, usually when something like this happens, I mean, there's at least some footage of the crash site, or there's really nothing other than what, what was said. And I understand, dude, details. I mean, it's ongoing conflict, right? So you don't want to pump out too many details because people are still fighting. Too much info can be a bad thing. But I don't know. What's your take on the whole thing?
I mean, it's not surprising, especially if they're still using the same tactics. You know, in any conflict, when you're talking modern air-to-air missiles and such, you talk about range, right? Preserving range, staying out of range of certain things. And if you are able to collapse that range and be undetected, you shoot somebody down. Like, it really doesn't matter, right? We were talking about this last time. F5s in ambush caps sitting underneath strikers and everybody else when we were doing that. We did this as T-38 adversary pilots. So, like, this whole, well, you know, the F-16 is not as good, or the Su-35, because it's an any given Sunday thing, right? The Su-35 is not inherently, you know, it's not a 5th gen platform where, you know, you have all the tech. Now, they do have a lot of toys on the Su-35 that make it formidable, but that doesn't mean they were using them. And that doesn't mean that the Ukrainians didn't somehow, you know, sneak past where they thought they were, or the Su-35 pushed too far into a certain area or whatever. So I think it's probably very similar to the one we talked about 3 months ago. However, you know, I mean, the F-16 is a very capable aircraft, and what they're getting, I mean, they're getting AMRAAMs, they're getting, you know, all the support. So it's not completely surprising. You know, we're not talking like 4 F-16s took down 24 Su-35s, right? We're only talking about one jet, and we don't have any verified stuff on it. So, you know, you can't really draw any wider conclusions than, hey, they shot down a Su-35. Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, I've never fought a Su-35, but, you know, I've fought Su-30s, both BVR and in dogfighting. So beyond visual range and then within visual range. And like you said, you're very capable, extremely capable airplane. But like we've always said, it's kind of it's the other things that matter heavily in air-to-air engagement, especially during wartime. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on that probably outside the script, you know, that the fog of war kind of things. And I'd have to see the details, man, to really make any kind of a assumption, other than the fact that I think we're going to see more, sadly.
Well, I guess what's notable about it being the first official, and by official, third party, right? Because it's not really the first official, because you know, we had the one in March, but it's the first, I guess, U.S. acknowledged kill of this type, I guess, which makes it notable. Which again, is it the one 3 months ago? We don't have context. You know, it's
Right.
just they did it, but this could be that 1 3 months ago. Obviously, you're right. It's an ongoing war, and you know, the best thing for anything would be for it to be not an ongoing war and to come to some kind of agreement to cease hostilities. But every time we say that, it doesn't seem like it's any closer.
No. And if it is the one from a couple months ago, I mean, you know, an ambush cap, I've been shot by those, right? It's
Yeah.
You know, it's just tactics driven. Tactics and training are just as important, if not more important, than your equipment at times. I mean, especially when you got comparable equipment on both sides, tactics and training is so important.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for that topic. See what the kids at home say before we move on. Boris says, as far as I know, the Ukrainians trapped the flanker. Their Saab 340 lit the position of the Su-35, then sent one F-16 to bait it, while 2 more flying on much higher altitude and ambushed him. There you go.
Right.
With a name like Boris. This is about as deep as intel as you can get.
There were reports of it being painted with a Patriot radar also.
Oh.
Pushed it out of the into one from one way to another.
Tell you what, man, if I was a Su-35 pilot and it's Patriot
chances
battery
with the Viper.
or Viper, dude, I'm going for the Viper 100%. So that Su-35 pilot knew what he was doing.
Valid.
100%.
Thank you, Karen. Doug, if you ever see a comment from Karen, please let us know. Jonathan says, any idea or guesses on life left on the UKR Vipers? I think they're going to fly them until they're literally falling apart. Like, I don't think they care. A lot of them are Dutch Vipers, which I think have a lot more life on them than ours, to be honest. You know, so
Yeah, I have not seen anything regarding what kind of maintenance they have going on for them. Remember, we covered Mover, I don't know, a couple months ago, where the Grippen's going to be stepping in. So, I mean, maybe that's going to provide some relief. You know, if they've
Gripen
got-
and Mirage, right? Weren't they Mirages too?
I think so. I remember definitely the Gripen though, because they're giving them some older ones up first, and then they've got plans to get them the more updated ones. But you know, that might give them a chance to fix some of the F-16s. I know they have had some issues with getting enough weapons to the Viper.
Yeah, and they've adapted a lot of stuff too.
They have, yeah. Tough.
It's
It's a tough scenario they're in, man. Super tough.
EFK says paint a red star on her. Yeah, 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figaro says it's not the plane, it's the pilot. Rooster. Maverick say that?
I thought it was Maverick. Yeah.
Yeah. You told me not to think.
Although Rooster did tell him that to get Maverick to engage.
Yeah. All right.
Man.
Speaking of Maverick, because he's got a couple confirmed kills like this. Russian Su-57 Felon stealth fighter crashes near Moscow during training flight. We used all of the words.
Was Maverick flying in an F-14A?
Gonky, this is you, buddy.
Probably not. Yeah. Initial reports that a Russian Su-57 fifth gen stealth fighter has crashed near Moscow. So this is a picture of the fireball. I looked far and wide. There was no video. Some of the comments here: combat training aircraft crashed during takeoff in the Moscow region. So some people were saying, hey, it's a training aircraft. It's not. It's a combat aircraft. Believe it or not, frontline fighters can be training aircraft if they're in the appropriate squadron. So, and there is another, let's see here. They got one more where there's a picture. Yeah. Let's see. That's it right here. Share it. So right here, confirmation the pilot managed to eject before the crash. And that is the picture of him ejecting. And obviously his jet's now smoke show on the ground. So we kind of looked at, yeah, and here's so there's the crash site. Looks like it. I mean, we've seen this before, Move. Remember, I think it was another flanker, but it appears that the impact area is very concentrated. So maybe another pancake into the ground kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the pilot ejected, probably on a training sortie, and that's a Su-57 there. So the issue for the Russians, of course, Mover, is, you know, they're trying to export this thing as well. They showcased it at some air shows, tried to drum up some foreign military sales, and this would be the second, I think, Su-57 crash that they've had. The airplane's still pretty new, but you know, the concern is, like, is this going to affect their ability to sell this thing to other countries? What do you think about? I mean, does this crash really? I mean, does this really mean anything?
The last one was in 2019. So the Aviationist reports that Russian media has reported that the pilot ejected. There were no injuries. The investigative committee of the Russian Federation has opened a criminal case for violating flight regulations or preparations for such, the source reported. According to the source, crash occurred during a training flight. The aircraft was unarmed. In addition, the investigative committee, military experts, and Defense Ministry Commission will investigate the cause of the accident. Because there were rumors that the thing got shot down by our own, because here the Pantsir gun missile hybrid point-to-fist system may have shot it down. I don't necessarily buy that, but it's not impossible. But I agree with you. You know, ejections on takeoff, you know, what causes those sort of things? In a twin engine aircraft, usually you've got time, but some kind of, you know, flight control issue or something else, dual engine flame out, you take birds, both motors roll back. However, in this case, the last mishap was 2019 with a prototype, which means this is probably, if it's training, so this might be the first operational loss that they've had in this aircraft. So in the course of 7 years, that mishap rate is pretty, I don't know what their flight hour, because that's usually what we base it on, how many mishaps per flying hour. So I don't know what they're flying, but I wouldn't be cause for alarm for me with, any of it, because it's just one mishap, and the guy survived. He managed to eject, and I agree with you about the pancaking in. That could be a departure, which could lend credence to the idea. I mean, in that region, I'm sure they're worried about drone attacks, and if the point defense system has some kind of malfunction, I could see it being a conceivable theory. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying I understand where the rumor comes from, because they're on edge and high alert, and they wouldn't be the first major superpower to shoot down their own jet.
I wasn't going to make fun of them, because maybe it could happen to the U.S.
I'm not. Yeah. I mean, 100% not making fun of them, because, absolutely could happen. So the fact that they opened a criminal investigation, I don't know what their standard practice is, but that would track.
Yeah. Man, that's very embarrassing if it's proven that they shot down. I know, because I I have felt such embarrassment.
And we have not only have, I mean, in a similar drone saturated environment, we got shot down by Kuwaitis.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah,
friendly fire happens.
That's the thing. Blue on blue, and we just talked about Russia, Ukraine fighting one another. Sadly, blue on blues happen. That's why in training we harp so much on the seriousness of it.
Yeah,
but I mean, dude, I think it's almost impossible to prevent it. Anytime you have a war is going kinetic, basically. I mean, people make mistakes, right?
Yeah. No.
I mean, I don't think it's going to affect the airplane as far as marketing it to other countries.
No. They're not going to base it unless there's something catastrophically wrong, like, the MCAS debacle, right? Like it's something, there's some design flaw that's like causing them to crash. And even one is not going to be enough to do that. You're going to have to start seeing repeated multiple, like one. Nobody would buy the F-35 if that were the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, the F-35 per flight hour actually has a very low mishap rate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You bring up a good point. I don't know how much that Su-57 is flying, but it's not flying much, obviously. Obviously, that'll affect its mishap rate.
I mean, unless that's like the third sortie since 2019, which we know that's not the case.
Right.
So we know it's flying enough that this is a rare occurrence. I mean, it's been a pretty safe, solid jet to date.
Yeah.
And I think they just got new engines, didn't they? Wasn't that they were upgrading the engines when they were testing the thrust vectoring? Wasn't that
I can't remember if that was that the Su-57 or was that the Chinese?
I thought the Su-57 got new engines. I know like different thrust, because they got the F-22 style thrust vectoring nozzles for the hide and the IR signature, but then they also were testing a 2-seat variant.
Oh, that's right.
But this wasn't 2-seat. This was just, I think, single seat.
As far as we know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, only one chute.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Boris says the Su-57 was taken down by friendly fire, but as we know, Russians don't like to say that.
Okay. Deep intel.
The deepest of intel. JD says, where was the Gettysburg? No, it couldn't be. It's whatever the Russian equivalent.
The Gettysburgsky?
I don't know. And Karen, thank you. Doug, if you find anything from Karen, please let us know.
Yeah, second time, man. Thank you, Karen.
Maybe Karen just very generous. Thank you. All right. Look, I'm going to change this because this is way too long.
I found it. It's starred.
What happened? A long comment?
No, I found the comment from Karen. The one.
Oh, I got you.
Lots of prayers for Wombat with his mother's medical journey, with a very happy day for Wombat's family. Yeah, prayers for Wombat.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you.
No, I was saying the title of this next topic I had to shrink because Doug put in all the words.
Sorry about that. There you go.
Here you go. Gonky, you're up again.
Here we go. Navy strike fighter expertise crisis. So it's kind of funny because I think it was 2 weeks ago we were getting ready for the show, and I got some intel from some active duty Navy pilots, and they were telling me about the strike fighter aviation expertise crisis. They didn't label it as such, but basically it was nobody wants to stay in. So the Navy as a strike fighter community has a department head crisis on its hands, urgent actions needed to fix it. So in the Navy, department head is kind of like your middle management. So you go in, you do your first 3-year tour as a junior officer. That's where you really learn your craft. Then you go away, you do a short tour, usually an instructor tour. That's what I did as IP in the Hornet. And then when you go back to the fleet, you go back as a department head, and it's basically part of a track to command a fighter squadron, and then beyond that, command a carrier, admiral. It's the path. So everybody plays the game at first, and basically they're having a hard time filling spots. So the results of the recent aviation department head screening boards illustrates the strain on the current system. So in 2025, the VFA community, which is VFA is the strike fighter community, required 52 department heads, yet only 31 aviators accepted orders. Of those accepted, 15 were transition officers from other aviation communities, including rotary wing, maritime. And as a result, only 16 of the required 52 department head billets were filled by career strike fighter aviators. Because department heads make future commanding officers and key instructors within the strike fighter community, the loss of even a small amount of them has a cascading effect. So like when I was brand new to the Hornet in my fleet squadron, a lot of the time when I was getting upgraded, like learning the weapon system, it was a department head who was taking me out and doing the flights with me. Essentially, they were the instructors and the evaluators in the squadron. The article talks about 10 years ago, the T-45 had, and it continues to have today because we've covered on the show, a lot of maintenance issues, and that really slowed down the training in the pipeline. So, I think one of the ways the Navy handled that is less people selected jets because they just couldn't push them through the pipeline. So there is I guess a bit of a lull. And then there's another, so that was the 2014 to 2016 year group. And then there's another 2019 to 21 year group who also experienced training delays because of the T-45. So training delays can cause issues 10 years later down the road, as we're starting to see now. The article talks about basically the threat becoming more advanced. So it talks about 10 years ago, the focus in air-to-air training was surviving an intercept from 10 miles out, merging, cleaning up the merge with legacy aircraft like the MiG-29 and the flankers, 4th gen aircraft basically. But now with the 5th gen stuff coming out, the tactics are getting a lot more varsity. It takes a lot more skill. So it talks about the J-20 and the J-35 coming online, and it references the 2025 India-Pakistan conflict, where I guess some of the longest range air-to-air kills of about 100 miles were reported in combat. So these increased capabilities, you want to retain your talent, and having a hard time doing it. So strike fight. So SFTI. So this is Top Gun. So the whole idea behind Top Gun was basically we're going to take a small cadre of pilots, train them up, send them back to the fleet, and they're going to spread that information and basically raise the standard within the fleet. And that worked really well in Vietnam. The article talks about in 1969, basically the kill ratio U.S. Navy versus the Vietnamese Air Force was unacceptable. They started the Top Gun school, and that kill ratio changed dramatically. Basically training the trainer model. So it really works. It takes about $1 million to $2 million to take a naval aviator who's already qualified in the Hornet and put him through the Top Gun course. And a lot of those Top Gun instructors, when they're done with their initial instructor tool, they go back to the fleet as department heads. And a lot of them do have a choice as well. So, if they choose to get out there, I mean, that's a big hit. You're losing the talent and the investment that you put in that pilot or Wizzo mover. It also brings up a good point here at Japan, World War II. So back in World War II, the way the Japanese ran their fighter training and their fighter pipeline was basically your most experienced stayed frontline in the fight. They never let any of that experience go back and train at the schools. As a result, as the conflict went on, they lost their experienced guys. All the experience was gone. And then now all they had was your junior guys, and it didn't fare so well at the end. So the financial dilemma, we've talked about it quite a bit on the show, man, about the airlines and the amount of pay discrepancy between the airlines and staying in. Some of it's quality of life, but an interesting thing here that
Lord, they got it wrong. It's Delta Airways.
Sorry, Delta Airways. So, the Navy has tried to throw money at this, right? So they throw career incentives, I think $50,000 a year for 5 years or 7 years. There's aviation bonuses tied to it, but this is pretty interesting. It says, based on current pay scales, even when accounting for Navy retention bonuses and a military pension, the opportunity cost between leaving the Navy for a major airline at approximately 12 years of service and remaining until 20 years may approach $3 million. So if you chase money, I mean, the difference is $3 million, which is pretty substantial in my opinion. It talks about maybe even raising these incentives to $100,000 a year, but me personally, I don't know if you can throw enough money at it. Some guys and gals are motivated by that, but some are not. Deployment cycles. So the Ford, the newest carrier we have in the fleet, just finished a record 11-month deployment. You got guys and gals who are flying off, off these aircraft carriers out there. They're just getting burnt out. How to fix it? We talked about it. There's the money plan. Throw money at it, see if that fixes it. The quality of life improvements. The unique thing here that I haven't heard before, Mover, and I don't know if you've ever heard anything like this, but basically he talks about incentivizing skill sets. So in an effort to try to retain the best talent, so let's say you're a Top Gun guy, you got all the quals and you're super valuable, have different bonuses for those people. So the way it works now in the Navy is everybody gets the same bonus. Like if you're coming up for your department head tour and you have the basic wickets, everybody gets the same bonus if you decide to stay in and continue. He talks about incentivizing your qualifications, which I could see how that would maybe push some people to get additional quals and be better. I'm not sure if it would keep people to stay in. Eye-opening to me. So it says here that a lot of department heads arrive at fleet squadrons with fewer than 1,000 hours. In this case, the F-18. Both deviations from historical norms. In 2020, the average Top Gun applicant had approximately 725 Hornet hours. The more recent application that average had declined to 525 hours, indicating aviators are entering advanced tactical training with less operational experience. Dude, so if department heads are coming in with less than 1,000 hours, that is 2 flying tours, which is wild because you and I have spoke about this. I got almost 1,000 in my first operational squadron. So not flying is a big deal in a fighter squadron, because if you're not flying, they will find work for you to do. So the time to act is now. We don't want to end up in the same predicament as the Japanese were in World War II, where all of our talent leaves for whatever reason, and then we're left with inexperience. Because you know, I mean, we talked about a little bit with the A10 going away. I mean, there's so much corporate knowledge with people that leave, right? So, and that holds true whether you're talking CAS missions on the A10 side or even naval aviation off the big carrier decks like we're seeing. So I got out because of quality of life and leadership issues. It wasn't a money thing for me. Everybody has their own reason, but it's pretty eye-opening the fact that they really can't get enough. They can't get enough people for these billets, man. I mean, it's kind of a long article. I summarized it obviously, but what do you think, Weaver?
Well, I've never been a seaman.
Try, just imagine.
It's not a man of the sea. It was all shore based, dude. It's an unwinnable problem because financially they can never keep up. I don't know how you change the basic tenets of being in the Navy, of you're going to deploy on a carrier for 6 months or more. Like I don't, and let you know,
wartime or peacetime. That's the thing. Like
operationally, yeah. I don't know how. Well, because we're always in something.
Well, even before, even during peacetime, they deploy.
That's what I'm saying. So, but there's always like, oh, we're parking a carrier because we've got to show presence and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
I mean, unless you shortened them to 60 days or 90 days or whatever, why would the question then becomes, why would anybody do it when all they have to do is go get a seniority number, a line number, at an airline and make twice as much money and be home twice as much. Now, that being said, the idea of just flying because you love flying, I mean, there will always be the ones that are like us that don't appreciate the airline flying that much, that don't think it's that great, that would want to just fly the fighter. But then the other side of the coin is the institution tends to run those people away. I mean, seriously, like there is such a aversion for the system to promote people that want to do the job that it drives away the people that want to do the job. So, you know, I mean, the Air Force has this huge problem, and I'm sure, I don't know, does the Navy promote? Do they look at everybody together? Like our pilots with SWOs and stuff like that?
Oh, no. You mean, no, not when they're trying to figure out divvying up the billets.
No, not billets. I'm talking promotion.
Oh.
Like the boards, line officers versus non-line officers.
I can't remember.
Anyway, my point is, when you say every officer is an officer and use that for promotion, what you end up doing is you rack and stack based on things that don't matter to certain professions, i.e., you know, your professional military education, your extracurriculars, the other stuff that is not your job. Like, dude, a Top Gun graduate should never have to do PME his entire career because he's done it all. Like, he's an expert. He can run a squadron. You know, if he wants to be an admiral, okay, then we'll talk. But just to get to 06 and below, the tactical and practical experience of his position should be enough, because that is to me, a graduate level program that they just said $2 million. The Navy has spent $1 to $2 million. So what happens is, for both the Air Force and Navy, we get into this thing where, yeah, flying's okay. It's kind of secondary, but your job is really everything else. And well, dudes look at that, and dudettes, they look at this and they go, what could I do? Well, I can go fly for Delta Air Lines and show up, put my hat on, fly my trip, make, you know, $2,000 a day, come home, take my hat off, and see which family I'm spending my time with today, whether it's the North American or South American version, whichever one they're with. I mean, that's the thing, money and simplicity. In the Navy or in the military in general, they're not offering that. And we have gotten away from being able to incentivize the patriotism of it. And honestly, we are in unprecedented times with the airlines, because for my entire career, it was cyclical. And everybody would tell you that. Like, we are in a boom that has been going on since 2016, 2015. I mean, I got hired on the front end of it, and it's pretty much still going on. I mean, before 2015, you just couldn't get hired. I mean, it was very rare. Most people didn't. And so they kind of tended to stay with the military. In 2015 and beyond, the airlines are in such a shortage that the hiring just doesn't seem to want to stop. So I don't know how you overcome that. What is scary, though, is that stat you put up about the 525 hours in a tour. I mean, applying to Top Gun with 500 hours. When I was, if I remember right, when you had to have 500 hours to become a flight lead in the Air Force.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're right. There's hour restrictions. I don't know them off the top of my head in the Navy, but you're right. And that stuff, I'm sure, is just being waived.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they talked about that, the 100-hour waivers and stuff. We used to make fun of countries because they wouldn't make 100 hours a year. And here we are needing waivers for it. So we have a problem, and a lot of it is institutional. It's how we address the job. We don't have enough flying hours. We don't have enough cockpits. Our jets are getting older, and even the Super Hornets now are getting older and more run down. The F-35, the problem with 5th gen is there are fewer cockpits. They're more expensive to operate and maintain. You fly them less. You rely more on the sim. Like, there's all these things. Whereas, when you and I were starting, I mean, it was like you couldn't fly enough. Like, sometimes they would ops cancel lines because they didn't have enough pilots. Now it's, well, we don't have enough jets. So you don't win the next war with inexperienced pilots. And the other thing that I thought was interesting when you're talking about the Japanese, and it made me think of kind of where we are today. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook or whatever. A lot of these influencers that are in the pilot training pipeline are not fighter pilots. So they are, and when I say I'm talking instructors, there are a lot of non-fighter types that are teaching the next generation from like the P8, the P3, heavy communities, and they're out there doing all the primary stuff. They're out there teaching, and you're like, because I remember in pilot training, I was the most impressionable. I mean, I knew I was going to a fighter, so I was a little lucky, but flying with a dude that was a former F-16 guy, okay, he's teaching you what you need to know and teaching you that single seat mentality. Flying with a dude that was a bomber guy, oh, hey, I'll get your radio. Hey, I'll do this. And it's like, no, don't touch a thing. I'm here to pretend like I'm by myself. You don't exist back there. And then the Strike Eagle guy was like, he wouldn't even talk on the radio. He didn't know how. So, there is some limitation in that. And I think they have to learn how to incentivize the training command, which I don't know if you can do that because they don't have a T-45 replacement.
Yeah. Yeah. All valid points, man. It's funny, just that's kind of how it works in the Navy. That's why I always joke about helicopter guys being bottom feeders. They're the ones that end up training initial guys and gals in primary, because quite honestly, if you're a Hornet guy, I don't want to go back to fly the T6 unless I have family at near, there's extenuating circumstances. And the Navy does do this thing called, and we all feared it, the quality spread. We weren't sure exactly how they did that, but that was to try to keep, not one specific community, the bottom barrel. But yeah, dude, I don't, you talk about the airlines, man, but I remember in 2009 in the Navy, when I first started my IP tour, 100%. And back then, no airlines were not hiring. There were guys still furloughed. And back then at VFA 125, 100% of the junior officers who could get out after they were done with their instructor tours, they got out. 100%. And that was no airline hiring. So I think the airlines add fuel to the fire because it's an easy option for a lot of people, right? I mean, the military is not pumping out pilots like they used to. Our training is very valuable, and it is of good use to airlines. And there's been a lot of pay and quality of life increases in the airlines since 2009. So it just adds fuel to the fire, man. I don't
know if you're not getting enough hours, you need 750 to get your ATP. If you're showing up with 500, you're spinning props somewhere in a Cessna.
Dude, I can't imagine showing up as a lieutenant commander with less than 1,000 hours. Most of the guys who flew a lot were right around 1,600 at the end of their IP tour. I was like 1,250 because I knew I was getting out. But yeah, that's wild to me. Absolutely wild. And sadly, I don't know if it's going to get any better because, parts and aircraft and just money to train, it just seems like a reoccurring theme, man. It's like a nightmare that won't go away.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like they need to get input from the operators.
100%.
Like this is not a problem you figure out in PERS 43 or whatever. And
no,
there was, and part of it too, I want to bring up this comment. Jay Walker says, could officers be subject to stop loss like us enlisted to prevent mass exits? In fact, that's part of the problem because we've had friends of the channel reach out and say, hey man, I was trying to go do this other thing and they stop lost me. Yeah. They wouldn't give me the assignment that I wanted. And it's like the memory of that people, hey, my buddy got screwed. I don't want to stick around with this before it's my turn. I mean, it's
not a morale boosting maneuver.
No.
In fact, dude, I mean, that cures the immediate problem, but I think it puts another nail in the coffin for the long-term problem.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Mover, I mean, that's people don't forget, especially with aviators.
Yep. Let's see. Saf Broface Vertus says, I'm currently at VFA 122 for my first class cruise. Anything I should be trying to do while I'm at the squadron?
Oh, wow. Get an incentive ride. Get an incentive ride. Yeah. See it. Yeah. Look on the they should have the VFA 125 tail there somewhere. My name's on it.
Fight Sword Radio says it's hard to imagine a cooler job than flying fighters. The fact that the military manages to make that intolerable for its pilots blows my mind.
It's not that it's intolerable. It's more you want to do the job, but there's just so much other stuff. That was the blessing of being a student for 2 years. All I did was fly. All I had to do was focus on flying. And then when I got to the fleet, thankfully I was in an era and a time when we did fly a ton, but a lot of my effort in Squadron Day was shifted towards things that you never saw in the documentary Top Gun. So, and without the flying that we did, the amount of flying we did, which was awesome, I don't know if I would put up with the rest,
I love how, people romanticize the job, which flying by itself is awesome.
Right.
It's everything else. Especially the Air Force will suck the fun out of anything. And even the flying part, right? I think the common man or woman looks at Top Gun and they're like, man, turn and burn. It's adrenaline. You're going to go and it's like the cop shows, right? The cop shows never show the report writing that you have to do for 6 hours after you do the thing. The fighter pilot stuff never shows the mission planning, the brief, the drawing up,
the grade sheets,
the debrief where you're like, imagine, if you will, you've been doing something for a while and you go sit in a debrief and you have somebody, let's say your age or younger, And now they're talking about, well, your taxi spacing was a little bit off here. Or, when you checked in, you said 2 instead of toop, or something, the minutia of that. And you're just going,
It's pretty amazing.
like, we don't understand. We need Doug. We need Doug or one of his people to come in and do like some serious professoring on teaching how to debrief before people's eyes glaze over. And that's just the squadron level. You go to weapons school, those dudes are like into the midnight hours, into the 2 a.m. Hey, come back. I'll see you in a minute. Like, the level of, now, could it be argued that's what makes us great? Potentially. Could it also be argued that it's a complete waste of time and a haze?
Potentially.
Probably.
Dude.
Could I also argue that most of the notes I wrote, I never looked at again? 100%. I mean, there's a lot of gamesmanship in that. And so what people get burned out with is doing all that, putting up with all that, and then you finish and you're like, okay, the flying job's done. And now you've got to do the rest of the military stuff, the
ground jobs,
the ground job stuff. And yeah, you do sign up for that as an officer, but it's not glamorous. And when you are working long hours, like if you worked 6 hours or 12 hours, there is no difference in your pay. If you worked a weekend, there's no difference in your pay. Like, it's not like the amount of effort you put in does not really change the outcome. It makes you think it changes the outcome, but at the end of the day, the outcome is still more or less, you are a cog in a machine. And the difference between those that stay in and the airline pilots is the airline pilots know they're a cog in the machine and they don't care because they're getting paid a lot of money. Because you're a cog both ways. I mean, the airline doesn't care about you. The Navy doesn't care about you, period, dot. So that's why.
Yeah, it's a tough scenario. I think, honestly, the best thing is you got to, if you're going to have good fighter pilots in this case, you got to have the money for them to train and fly. And everything else has got to be second rate. Because unfortunately, like we've talked about, the less money and the less flying, the more the other stuff becomes important, right? So, and that just drives the warfighter out.
It's amazing, Gonky. Like, when you were flying as much as you were versus when you weren't, same amount of ground job work, but more time flying, it still got done, right? It's not like, oh, when you weren't flying, you did more. The exact same amount gets done. It's just when you're flying, it somehow makes it work. And then when you're not flying, it's somehow everybody's in a crisis for over the
makes you better. You outsource, dude.
Yeah. Oh, well, it'll never be the same.
No.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it, Doug. If you find Karen's comment beyond Mombat. EFK says, I blame the ludicrous ROE for the abysmal exchange rate from 1965 to 1968 in Vietnam. Not being allowed to use sparrows in BFVR was insane. He's talking about your...
Yeah, part of that's because I think they had some blue on blues. So
yeah.
The ROE was not ideal. You are correct.
Kevin says, we don't have a jets problem. One, build 200 F-18s and F-16s, flood the Guard, make more Navy Reserve or even Guard to keep your experience. See, that's the other problem with the Navy is they don't have a ready reserve. They call it the strategic reserve, but they don't they have no ability. They have no Guard model. They have nothing like the Air Reserve component.
Well, they used to. There used to be an entire reserve air wing, but over time, budget cuts, that has gone almost.
That is what they need.
Yeah, it would help. It would help.
I mean, across the board, get rid of TFI and add this unit equipped squadrons on the Navy side, because that's how you keep your experience.
Yeah.
Because dudes want to get away from the airline and relive their glory days. Like
Ask me how I know.
But they don't want to be there for 8 years. They just want to do their, couple days a month and be done. Jay Walker says there are times when the recruiting department for the airline I work for will ask me to tag along with them to help recruit mil pilots because I speak military. Military pilots are joining like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Let's see here. Gold coin. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hold on. There's a whole slew of comments here unrelated to what we're talking about. So I'm going to get rid of that banner. Gonky, you can read that.
All right. Emery, what is that? How do you pronounce that? Emery? I don't know. As a Turk, could you explain to me what happens when two 5th-gen fighters go against each other? You always say,
hold on.
What happened?
OSI found out.
You always say FEF-35 would get a kill or Fox 3 before even adversary 4th-gen fighter notices it. For example, if if Khan with the ESA radar goes against a Greek F-35, would it approach to them for or even though both are stealth, you could get a Fox 3 from far away. If they do, where's part 3? Is there a part 3? If they do, why do they even carry Fox 2 anyways? Maybe because adversary skids very low to horizon, just above sea level or behind mountains. Boy, there's a whole lot of opportunity there to end up someplace I don't want to be. Sorry, man. Yeah, mover.
I don't know anything about 5th gen, so you're asking the. I had a mech scan radar, and I'm sure it's the same as when everybody is jamming. Eventually, you end up at the merge.
Eventually, your screen is just dark.
Yeah,
and yes, you get bogey dope to the merge, and it's a free for all.
You burn through, and you finally see him, and you're like, "Oh God, 10 miles!"
You burn through. That's a lie.
It's like 10 miles, dude. It's very close in.
Yeah. Okay.
The ECM mode says, yeah,
funny.
I have no idea. No idea, man.
Sorry, man.
It's not because I don't want to tell you. It's because I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I don't think that any of these. Well, I mean, first of all, the con is, you guys don't like the Greeks. Yeah. Well, it's whose radar is better. That's what it comes down to. And if not, it's heaters only.
Yeah.
Which I bet you most of these, if you're talking Turkish versus Greek, is going to start within visual range anyway, because most of their dogfight videos that I've covered have all been intercepts. So right. I would have a feeling that for the most part, number one, you're probably not going to go to war.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Second, it's going to be within visual range. And third, y'all just need to get along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah. Just bench race it. It's way better.
Yeah. Get in DCS.
DCS.
Indian fanboy says Army warrant officer pilots haven't made. Just fly and let the commissions do all the side jobs. Except you're still in the Army.
That's
like you got it right, except for that whole Army part. Army makes everything more painful.
That's valid. But it's a valid point if we're just talking about flying. And the Navy actually tried a warrant officer program when I was in, but it was not for VFA community. They did it for the TACMO, which is the big 4-engine 707 looking plane.
Hawkeye says nothing special to say, just attributed to cost. Appreciate that, Hawkeye. And he says, no problem. Thanks anyway. And you've passed your annual OSI training.
I love it.
Jay Walker says, how big of a donation does it take to answer an OPSEC question? Haha. Well, you're going to have to pay for bail.
Right. What's it cost to get out of federal prison?
Yeah. Cover a lot.
Yeah, it'd be pretty expensive.
And you're paying for junk because we don't know anything anyway. Karen, thank you again. EFK says, props to the Turks and Greeks for still flying Phantoms. Those updated are so badass.
Those are some of the best videos.
I definitely wouldn't want to take a Phantom into any kind of a combat, though.
I'd love to just fly it, though.
Fly it, but not actually employ it in any kind of operational manner.
Yeah.
All right, Gonky. We
Yes,
got
sir.
news on the EX.
Super Eagle.
The Super Eagle. Every Eagle pilot's nightmare. They're dropping the B word, which I wonder how that brief went. We're going to drop the B's because that Eagle pilots can't say bomb. Just so you know.
Well, that's changing.
But Oregon National Guard 142nd loaded practice bombs on the EX2s at Mountain Home and dropped them on the range. It's the first time an operational unit has employed the Eagle 2's air-to-ground capability, reports the Military Times. Crews loaded concrete 500-pound BDU 50s and 2,000-pound BDU 56s, built the size and weight of the real thing. Over 10 missions, they dropped 36 bombs, 24 500-pounders, and 12 2,000-pounders, achieving a satisfactory scores with 0 safety incidents, which is interesting to me because they're just ballistically dropping them.
I mean, dude, you can have a safety with dumb bombs.
No. I'm saying it's interesting that they're doing this without GBU anything.
Oh, yeah.
Training comes as they prepare for the swap to F-15C Eagles, designed strictly for air-to-air combat. The multi-role EX slated to receive 17 more. 3 had prior air-to-ground experience. All 3 had been through a 9-month course on the science of dropping bombs and associated tactics. Team outperformed any expectation that we held and went above and beyond, says Jesse Loya, one of the 3 pilots who developed the training program. This year, the members load crew, obviously, you have to be certified to put the things on the wings. But yeah, they're going to go to Nellis and train with live bombs. So what's interesting, Gonky, to me is we're dropping dumb bombs, which I then wonder if we did like a CCRP, so constantly computed release point, or if they did some roll-ins and did CCIP, or since the McDonnell Douglas product, is it more like the Hornet where you do auto bombing, which is CCRP in the F-16. But they're not putting kits on these bombs, at least not per this article, which is very surprising because I expected, the day of the diving delivery to be dead, and we're just talking level deliveries, which could still be, but I don't know, man. What do you think?
Hey, is that guard unit the B course?
Portland, Klamath Falls was the B course.
Was it? Okay. All right.
Portland is the just
guard,
operational squadron.
Operational. I'd say, man, they're just crawling before they walk. I'm with you. I mean, in modern combat, it's not, well, I'm old, but we had a couple roll-in type deliveries in Afghanistan, but almost, the majority were, like you said, laser, GPS, something like that. That being said, we often practiced, using the force, just rolling in and using the force in the old Mark 1 eyeball, because I think it really does build. So I think the visual roll-in with dumb bombs is a lot like BFM. It builds a lot of basic piloting skill. I mean, because your awareness and fixing problems and your scan, what's going on. If you don't do those things for a while, you kind of lose it. And I think it is valuable. But in this case, be a new airplane. I think the article talked about, right? They did all the bomb dropping in Eglin at the test ranges. And now this is the first operational exercise where they're knocking this out. I think they're just like, hey guys, dropping bombs is dumb. We're gonna just go sling some on the range with no kits, and then from there we'll try the GPS stuff and then the laser stuff. So I think it's cool, man. Everything that the Air Force is doing with the F-15EX is, I think, it's a step in the right direction, man. I mean, it's a monster jet. It's awesome. Yeah, it's not 5th gen, but it has all kinds of capability that 5th gen stuff doesn't have. I think that model of taking a extremely proven and capable design, the F-15, and keeping it in service, modernizing it, and making it relevant is a great idea. Maybe they could do that to the A-10. But yeah, man, it's good to see the Eagle 2, whatever they're calling it, the super duper Eagle, whatever it is, the EX it's great to see that it's making its way into the combat Air Force, and it's nice to see that they're probably going to get more of them than initially planned, because I think they're going to need it.
This is just the beginning, Gonky. This means they're going to make them super strike eagles.
You think they're just going to put like 6 tanks on them, and
if they're going to like this is the first step before Wizzos fly. Because none of these C model guys know how to drop bombs. They're like, well, we got to find somebody. Next thing you know, Wizzos.
Yeah, well, dude, it's like my training officer said way back. He basically said, dropping bombs is easy. Air-to-air is the hard part. And I agreed with him.
Really?
I thought air-to-air was much more difficult because, dude, it's the 3-dimensional chess game.
Finding the wire, troops in contact,
dude,
finding where everybody is, and not. Yeah, dude, I don't know.
I understand that, but you got to. This is the EX we're talking about. This isn't the Pinto Viper that you flew, dude. This thing's got like the helmet, probably both. Guys got helmet, all kinds of crazy stuff to be like, they look down and they probably see what needs eradicated. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, imagine being the first guy that's like, okay, I got to come up with a Z diagram. All right, let's
Jump's computer does that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Next question.
Well, I mean, still, but I got to explain this to the Eagle guys. Like, you don't, they're like, well, what do you mean?
On the trigger?
What's the wire?
Off the trigger.
Yeah. No, it's the pickle button.
Well, okay. See, I would be a terrible EX pilot.
Don't say that, Gonky. We might need that job.
Wait a minute. Because in the Air Force, the gun is always the trigger, right?
Yeah, pickle button
right?
is for everything except the gun.
Wow, dude, I would screw that up. 100%.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Was that a Fox 3 on the range?
Yeah, why'd you? Yeah,
sorry.
How'd you lob a missile at it?
Take it back. I take it back.
Well, they still, if you look at the picture, there's still an AMRAAM.
Yeah,
on there. So
yeah. I mean, dude, it is I hate this word, but it is a multi-role jet. I mean, it just happens to have more.
Listen, I am available if they need help.
I love that. Yeah, I could. That plane's awesome, dude.
Preferably in New Orleans, though, not Oregon.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to bigger and better things. Let's see. We got comments for no, nothing relevant here. So, take that away. And we've got Karen, your kid has found your phone. Hey, don't tell him that.
Yeah. Run, kid.
Emerald says, I think we use Phantoms for air-to-surface missions for close air support or strikes against separatist, Kurdish terrorists in mountainous areas. They are modernized, but I don't know which level.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sick-looking jets, though.
EFK says, Mover, how can you not be a fan of the Phantom? I'm positive if the Greeks or Turks use their updated Phantoms in air-to-air, they would clean house.
I mean, I guess if you upgraded it enough. I mean, it's a it's an interceptor, man. But I don't know how updated the
no. Have fun with it though. Gold Picard says 1, bail money, 2, fly Army, 3, what tweaks do you guys think would need to happen to give the Navy and Air Force a program in the same line as the Army's high school to flight school in order to fill out pilot and crew slots? I don't think it happens. I think it's too institutionalized and ingrained.
Dude, it's been a while, but I don't think they have necessarily a problem with applicants. It's the retention. It's the retention piece that they have not figured out. I mean, they've got enough young people that want to do the job, but they just don't know how to keep them once they mature a little bit and get older.
Well, that's how you do it. You do a high school to flight school and then make a 20-year commitment.
Right. That's one way to do it. And you know what? I literally would have done that 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you're too young to know better.
Right. Well, I mean, you're young. Your problem is your priorities change, and it might not align with the needs of the Navy or the Air Force or the Army, right? So,
Army training, sir. Gringo Lingo says, Doug, can you find Gravity Inc. jet suit clips? What do these words mean?
I don't know.
Dozens.
Matt says, sirs, thank you for your service. Thank you for this podcast, which is something I look forward to every Monday evening when I have the chance to watch live. Bravo Zulu. P.S. Mover, have you tried the F-14 BU yet? New HUD is the real deal. I have not.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, but thanks. Oh, hey, Karen, or Karen's kid. I could be wrong. I do know a very large plane crashed a few minutes after takeoff towards the east. I remember the day it happened many years ago.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it does happen.
Right.
Very tragic. Sinister Elephant says, did you watch the Sky King documentary? Why would the F-15s call splash if he impacted an island? I mean, it's still
a kill.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a ground kill. Yeah. I mean, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, sad, but appropriate. No, I didn't watch the documentary. Did you watch the documentary? It's on the Disney Plus. I'm sure you guys know.
No, the new one that's out. I keep seeing
Poverty.
ads for it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Doug, there's no way.
I'll have to watch it.
Do you have Disney Plus?
I might. Isn't it part of like Hulu or Amazon or something now?
Hulu.
Yeah, we have it because that's where I've seen it. We have Hulu.
All right. So the Air Force accelerates the A-10 retirement, and then we change this and then tries to stop the A-10 retirement. And they call it the BRRRT.
I love it. BRRRT.
So nope. That's not it.
That's not it.
Professional. I thought I was wrong. That's on me. I thought it said BRRRT in the title. So the BRRRT Act would keep more flying, A-10s flying. That's not the right link either. But that is. So again, Military Times are reporting that the Air Force is trying to retire them. They have 126 that they want to keep through this BRRRT Act. HR 9780 by Abe Hamadeh in Arizona. It is the bolstering, recognition, resurgence, retention, and remembrance of the Thunderbolt. It gets its name from the noise it makes when it shoots the gun. Don Davis from North Carolina. It's bipartisan. Democrat. It's co-leading the bill. They both sit on the Armed Services Committee. Basically, they're saying that while the Air Force has ramped up its divestment, that's a word we know because we've heard it, but they have no replacement. The Air Force says that the F-35A, F-15E, and F-16 can do it, but the Hamadeh says it's proven itself. We are wanting to ensure that they do not retire a proven weapon system before a certified replacement exists. This bill is the latest move in a lengthy tug-of-war between the Air Force and lawmakers. They began fiscal 2026 with 162 hogs and tried to retire all of them. Congress said, no, you must keep at least 103. But then following the A-10 involvement in the Iranian conflict, including the recovery of a downed Strike Eagle crew, service announced it would keep squadrons flying at Moody and Whiteman into 2029 and 2030, roughly 54 jets. Reaching 126 would mean halting retirements already scheduled and towing aircraft back out of the boneyard at Davis-Monthan. The bill gives the Air Force 90 days after enactment to explain how it will restore depot work, training, sustainment, flight testing programs are all cut in anticipation of retiring the fleet. Holy whiplash, Batman. The depot line at Hill Air Force Base closed in February. The last class of new Warthog pilots graduated in April, and the weapons school is winding down. Under the bill, retiring more A-10s would become harder as well. Defense Secretary would first have to certify that a replacement is fielded and fully operational and get that in writing from the Army Secretary, the Marine Corps Commandant, and the head of U.S. Special Operations Command. A mission does not count as replaced, the bill says, if another aircraft picks it up as a secondary tasking. Should it fail to pass, the terms would could find their way in an annual Defense Authorization Act, which is how the 103 jet floor came to pass. Wow. As of the publication, it has not been made public. It's in the 13th Legislative Council draft. Gonky. Is this awesome or misplaced?
It's awesome. I mean, on one hand, I can see the Air Force point of view. It's an old jet. It's, no matter how good an airframe is, its design, at some point, if you've used it enough, there's a time to retire it. But they have nothing to replace it with. So we've talked about it, man. You don't need stealth, crazy, super expensive airplane all the time, right? The A-10 proven itself once again in rescuing, right, Strike Eagle Wizzo. Its ability to go in, dish it out, and take it. No other airplane can do that. And when you see that the Air Force is saying, well, the F-35 can replace the A-10's mission, the F-15. I mean, it's not true, man. Straight wing, right? It can fly low, slow for a long time. It's rugged. It can take a hit. Dude, the F-35, the Air Force version, the little 25 millimeter gun they have on it has like 3 seconds of ammo at best. Carries 180 something rounds. The 30 mil on the A-10, dude, it has a higher fire rate and carries like 4 times the over 1,000 rounds, right? So I mean the airplanes that the Air Force says can take the A-10's mission, just by design, they're completely different. And then the air crews of the F-35 and F-15, F-16, dude, they're task saturated already with missions that they're doing as fighter guys, dude. The A-10, the CAS mission, all the ground attack stuff, man. You stand down, you get rid of all the A-10s, you're going to get rid of all the expertise of basically probably the finest attack pilots in the world. And that is a colossal squandering of assets. I mean, you almost cannot replace that, because unfortunately those guys will come out of the A-10, they'll go to the F-35, F-15, wherever, and eventually they will learn new stuff and forget the old. But the A-10 mission, I think, is one that's probably going to never go away. And really, the real tragedy here is the leadership from 20 years ago screwed this up, right? I mean, everybody put all their eggs in the F-35 basket, and surprise, not working out, right? Not working out as well as we thought it was going to. I'm not saying the F-35 is pure garbage, because it does some amazing things. It's an amazing jet. It's just not an A-10, right? So that's what I think, man. I think it's nice to see recognition,
Yeah, I'm torn on this. On the one hand, the A-10 is awesome. The community is awesome. I grew up in the A-10 community because that's the first unit that hired me was an A-10 unit. Sadly, I didn't get to fly the A-10, but I got to hang out and learn the culture. And that was 23 years ago, which goes to show you how old that platform really is. The problem is, much like the T-38, this is a problem that needed to be answered, like you said, 20 years ago. They needed a replacement. But throughout the Hog's life, they have been trying to get rid of it. Desert Storm. After that, the squadron, the 706 Fighter Squadron, which is who hired me, they drew down the A-10s, and then they went to the F-16. Then they got the A-10s back. Then they go to Afghanistan. So it's been a lot of whiplash. We got to the end of the rope here with the whiplash, where you've shut down the depot, you've shut down the B course, the basic course. So the schoolhouse that trains A-10 pilots, they used to have Barksdale and they used to have Davis Monthan. Well, they shut down Barksdale 15 years ago. You know, it's been that long. And, you know, you shut down DM, the last A-10 pilot has now graduated, and it's like all of those decisions have already been made. You know, everything has started to move towards the retirement, and now congressmen are saying, hey, wait, stop, you can't do that. So the A-10 has proven itself as an incredible close air support platform, combat search and rescue. There is no combat search and rescue replacement. Nothing can do that. I mean, we saw it when they rescued the downed airmen. We did lose one as a result of that, but that just goes to show you the A-10 pilots that'll put themselves out there and hang it out to make sure that the mission happens. Where I find the issue is your subject matter experts are your warfighters, not politicians. I don't necessarily like the idea of politicians driving this part. Not to say that I think that the A-10 needs to go away, but I don't like the precedent here. I don't like the idea of congressmen getting together and saying, well, you need X amount of that. Now they're on the House Armed Services Committee and they're very smart, but if you are going to have a military, you have to trust your military to know what it needs and what it wants. And when you have the politicians involved, we already have this problem, right? That's why we have the F-35, because this part's built here and this part's built here. And that's how we end up, they meddle versus just going to the warfighter and going, what do you need? How can we help you? The A-10 itself, I mean, they're going to pull jets out of the boneyard. They need new wings, or they just got new wings. A lot of them, the wings modernization or strengthening program, they need new engines. They've been complaining about newer engines. They need new technology. The A-10C is already outdated. I mean, it's as the stuff progresses, because they shut down the test. Test and evaluation. All of your stuff comes from test and evaluation, especially out in Davis Monthan or Tucson, AATC. That tech is what gives you, the helmet and the displays and stuff like that, and it needs to be upgraded. You did have a very upgraded aircraft, but that was 10 years ago. You still have to continue upgrading it, and they had already shut all that down. So it's going to take a while to bring that pipeline back up, when I think the answer probably is we need to get better at building clean sheet designs and actually build a new aircraft that fills the role and keep the subject matter expertise of close air support in the community, not just rely on one airplane like the B-52, where it's going to be 100 years old before we ever retire it. Like, we need to be better at building new ones and designing new ones, and not just relying on the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Well, a clean sheet design in the year 2169, when that thing starts flying.
It should, that's the thing that gets me, is that with the technology we have, we should be able to, get this in a week. Here's your clean sheet design. Let's go build a prototype. Let's fly it. The fact that it takes longer now, it's insanity. And don't get me wrong, the answer is you keep the A-10 until you have a replacement. I agree with that.
Right. Yeah.
But the problem is, the reality is the whiplash is retiring it. We have friends that were flying the A-10 that were sent to the F-35.
Right.
They're all into the F-35 now. That's where they are. And one of the things that article talked about is they can't retire it until they prove that they have a replacement that's not a secondary mission. What does that even mean?
I mean, the closest thing they have is the little air tractor, which isn't even close capability wise.
Well, but what I'm saying is, is CSAR a secondary or primary mission? Is CAS a CSAR? Is Killer? Like, all the missions that it has, does it have to be a 1-for-1 replacement? I'm with you, dude. There's no one size fits all. I think specialized communities make us better, where we had C models doing air to air, and F-22s doing air to air, and A-10s doing air. I think having that expertise is better, but at the same time, what is the most cost-effective way, and how do we define what the replacement is before we can get rid of it? Because if not, you're going to have to invest a lot. It is more expensive to keep an old thing flying than it is something that's still being built.
Yeah. And it all boils down to money. 100%.
Ah, right.
I mean, you know, I've said it before, can't really afford the military that we want. I think a clean sheet design should have been, you know, happening 20, 25 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago.
30 years ago, yeah. If nothing changes in the procurement process, dude, that you're not even going to be able to.
Dude, the money's got to come from somewhere. You can't, like, you know, the Air Force is going to want their money, and they're not going to want to spend the money on the A-10. So I would rather, you know, whole ass one thing than half ass a bunch of things. And we are going to half ass the A-10 community. That is my fear, is the Air Force will go, you're right, we'll keep it. But, you know, like they were doing this as it was retiring, and, you know, they were flying parts to failure. They were cannibalizing stuff. Like, it was kind of ugly in the A-10 community as they were drawing down. And now all of a sudden you're going, well, nope, we can't, if this even passes, right? This isn't
right.
But I mean, you're going to pull all those people back, or are you going to say, well, we haven't generated, I mean, dude, you've transitioned everybody to F-35s, or most of the people. You haven't graduated a new B courser or TX courser in, you know, months. Those slowdowns ripple effect all the way down the supply chain.
It's just like we talked about with the T-45 issues in the Navy. Yeah, you're right. You're right, because you can't, there's a whole career path that has now been derailed, you know? So
oops, our bad.
Right.
You know, by the time this gets passed, it's going to be so far down the road that it's going to be a hard thing to undo.
Yeah, if it gets passed, though, they're going to have to undo it.
They will have to undo it, and all it's going to do is cause a lot of, you know, anxiety and stress. I mean, it's going to be a pain. Now, granted, again, I am available. I will go fly the A-10.
The A model, dude. I don't steam gauges.
Whatever you want.
Put me in there.
I've already been hired once to fly the A-10. I will do it again. I'm obviously a trusted agent in the community. Yeah. I hope. After what I just said, it might not be, but I mean, I love the A-10. I think it's a great, you know, I mean, it's a great platform, but I look at this from a realistic perspective. You know, I don't like lawmakers meddling.
You got a point. I mean, and I almost wonder what drives that, you know, with the Iran stuff going on. I wonder if the success of the A-10 brought that conversation on. I'm sure it did.
Or the fact that it's an Arizona senator.
I mean, that too, right?
Or
that
congressman,
too.
Sorry, not
that too. Yeah, you're right. There's some politicking involved in that. Yeah.
I don't understand the North Carolina part, but I understand the Arizona part because that's their constituents. I mean, hey, look, the A-10 proved that it should stick around. Honestly, I wish we had a time machine and we would never do this drawdown. Yeah. But as far into it as we are, I mean, that's going to be a tough one. Glad it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sure we'll have opinions, Mover.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be mad at me.
Probably.
Laura B says, Mover, the over shoulder sign position is perfect. Thank you.
Looks good.
Jay Walker says A10EX. Who's
there? You go. That's the
You're going to need some rich Saudi and or Qataris to buy a version, and then we just copy and paste. Late for that.
Yeah.
Ryan says, we have B-52 airframes that are older than my dad. Why can't they do the same with the A-10? I just don't get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The A-10 airframe has a tougher life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, way tougher. Yeah.
Yeah. And you probably have A-10 airframes that are older than your dad. I don't know how old your dad is, but there's definitely A-10s that are older than me.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. 50 plus years old, probably.
70s.
Yeah, the 70s was 50 years ago, dude.
Oh, stop.
Shocker.
Tiger Rose says, seeing as you mentioned the boneyard, have either of you been there or something you'd like to do? Because I would be like a kid in a candy shop. I went as a kid. I have not been as an adult.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've flown over it.
I've flown over it too.
Yeah. Tom says C-130J model Ghost Rider could replace A-10 or just appear to provide CAS.
No. You need a maneuverable gun platform.
Yeah. Aaron says the USAF has always fought against the CAS mission. They don't want it. They just don't want the Army to get the funding to do it themselves. Yeah.
That's valid.
RM Nevada says,
Thanks,
Dad started flying in 39 open cockpit, retiring in 62, flying the B-52. He loved the B-47. I did my time in the Air Force into Viet working intel. Then I spent 20 years as a cop because I had no civilian skills. A friend told me anyone can be a cop. Yep, love the show. That's awesome, dude.
Dude, that's
Thanks
awesome.
Thanks for that. That's
that's awesome.
Emerald says, do you think F-35s that were made for us sitting idle in U.S. hangars for years would be delivered if we don't get rid of the S-400s? Israelis have flown the F-35 in Syrian airspace when S-400 battery were stationed there. No, in fact, I saw a thing. I almost put this in the articles that until they're completely gone, they will not get F-35s. Or you will not get the F-35.
Your country.
Your country. Your people. My people. Eagles Wing says, Gonky, I bought all your books for a gift. Loved it. I also bought a few t-shirts. Great quality. Love the colors. Just missing the flag. Yeah. See, we need to figure out how to get the flag on here, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll definitely recommend and buy both. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
That'll help Gonky with his 2 afterburner problem.
My 2 burner problem.
Tom, what's up, bud? Imagine being a dude on the ground in a gunfight that needs CAS, and it's an F-35 that shows up that can only be on station for a few minutes, takes a minute to turn around, and only has a few seconds of cannon.
That's true. I mean,
yeah.
We carried 570 rounds in the Hornet, and even that was, not enough.
That was 510.
572, I think, is the actual book answer, but based on, I don't know how the ordies would load it. I never.
It's either 510 in the Hornet and 550 in the Viper, or the other way around.
Yeah. I think 550 is the most they could. I don't know. But I think 572 is the book answer, though, for the Legacy Hornet.
Yeah, you instructed. You know more than me. I don't know.
The Rhino is less, though, because it has a slightly different M61. But anyways, go ahead.
Af Love says, ATM replacement. We can't even replace our mail trucks at this point. I've been seeing them riding around in these little vans now. Emerald says, what could they learn more? Trump promised us at least 5 F-35s before a law passed against CATSA sanctioned against us lifted. Sorry to derail. Sir, this is a Wendy's.
I don't. The menu.
Yeah.
We've got burgers and fries. What would you like?
Yeah. I don't know about any of that stuff. It's way above my pay grade, man. I just fly them. Yeah. Emerald says, also, please talk about us more often. News channels analyze your analysis on our industry, your celebrities here on national television. Oh, my gosh. Gonky, that's what we forgot. We got to find an honorary Turkey A topic every week. Hawkeye says, Mover, if the Senate passes the bill to bring back fixed wing Vipers, Fat Amy, Strike Eagle aircraft to the Iowa Air Guard, would you? Iowa.
Depends on the commute.
That sounds like a tough commute. I could ride in T-Bear's crop duster. You know, he's up there right now, crop dusting in Iowa.
Buy a Tesla, it could drive you up there.
Yeah, for 2 days.
Well, yeah. I guess if you take a nap, it pulls over.
That's a 2-day drive.
Yeah, that is a long drive. But if you had a Lancer 4P mover.
If I had a Lancer 4P, that's right. Or a Tic Tac. Tic Tac's got my back, says, I like the A-10s. They don't freak out and try to chase me when they see me in like those excitable F-18s. No, because they're too slow. Lancer 4P is not as fast as an A-10.
You said it is as fast?
No, it's not as fast. I bet you could fly form with it, though. I bet it's fast enough to keep up.
100%.
Shay Walker says, great show again, gents. Be well, fly safe. See you next week. Oh, we're not done yet. Jonathan says, off topic, but saw an awesome video of Ukrainian shooting down Shahid with a rifle from the backseat of a turboprop. Yeah, we've seen those.
That, yeah.
Jonathan says, A-10s start with 75 serials. Yeah, so 1975. Oh, sorry. I think I'm hitting buttons now. What am I doing? All right, Gonky. Let's see. I moved something here. And we promised, so you have to cover it.
Mover and cod we trust is what we used to say.
It's my only trap.
Dude, this thing's been flying. Speaking of old airplanes, the old cod's been flying since 1965. Dude. Navy dinosaur carrier delivery plane flies into the sunset, and this is a couple of.
Is that a real name?
What, a dinosaur?
Hope Hodge Sec.
Dude, I don't know. Come on, man.
What is that?
I don't read the fine print.
The byline?
The byline, yeah. So, yeah, man. So the Navy recently retired the C2, the COD, the C2 Greyhound, which was basically the logistical workhorse of the air wing. So if you needed it fast and now, if you could fit it in the COD, that's how you got it. Yeah, dude. There's the V-22 Osprey is its replacement. And it says the C2 Greyhound made its final carrier landing at the end of June, capping off its mission as the Navy's only carrier delivery passenger plane. The mission will now be conducted by the CMV-22, which is Navy speak for Osprey. The tilt rotor, yeah. So no more fixed wing. So yeah, so BRRRT looks like was the last active C2 squadron. The final flight of last C2 is set to happen before the end of the month. Yeah, so they transition to its final home, the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida. So it's coming here. I'll have to go take a look.
I was told by Wombat that there's a media advisory. C2 Greyhound, 6 decades of service to end with final flight to NAS Pensacola on tomorrow.
Oh, it's coming tomorrow?
28th of July.
Oh, man. I'll have to, yeah.
At approximately 11:15.
But usually when the museum gets an airplane like that, I mean, they gotta prep it. So they're not, I'm sure they gotta like defuel it, take the hides out, all that stuff. They're not just gonna push it into the. Anyways, it'll be cool to see once it gets here. I thought this was really interesting, man.
But you could go watch the final landing.
Yeah, I've seen a COD landing or two.
Not the last.
I've seen a couple scary ones, my friend. It says this is kind of cool here. Despite a no-fail mission to get VIPs and important cargo on and off carriers, the sea community is tiny. Not my words, theirs. Making up less than 1% of naval aviators. According to pilots who spoke with Military Times, between 1,000 and 1,500 pilots have flown the aircraft since its first flight. And I guess in 1960. Wow. So you can look at that two ways, man.
That's what I was going to say. Is this like Corvette owners? Like if it's one of one built on a Tuesday, it's more valuable than because it's more rare?
Yeah, exactly. We used to joke with the C2, man. That thing would, when they launch it off the carrier, it's like, man, the most energy that plane ever has is at the end of the cat stroke. From there, she just decells. Yeah, it talks about they upgraded the C2 over time, like the latest update, glass cockpit. They put the 8-blade prop on it. The C2 shares a lot of commonality with the E2, and actually, when the Navy was trying to figure out what they're going to do with the aging C2 fleet, one of the proposals was, hey, let's take the modern version of the E2, put the wing on it, the better engines, and you'll have yourself a modernized C2. But for whatever reason, the tilt rotor nonsense won, and it is what it is. Yeah, the twin-engine turboprop high-wing Greyhound can carry up to 28 passengers. The unique thing, as Mover found out, is you're facing backwards, and that design was to help. That was the help with the. Did you do a cat shot on it?
No, I walked off the carrier.
All right.
I trapped and then walked off.
So passengers on board, they get the arrested landing. It takes a plane from 138 miles per hour to a dead stop in less than 2 seconds, and the catapult is the reverse of that. So I never trapped on the cod, but I got a cat shot. And so when you're facing rearwards, there was nobody sitting next to me, and you have like the shoulder harnesses. Dude, when the cat fired, all the shoulder harnesses went straight. It's like a cartoon. They went like straight out and did the little flutter thing, and then we hit the end of the cat stroke, boom, and they came back
That's
down.
awesome.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is cool.
Yeah, and as a Hornet guy, I was like, "Oh, it's a soft cat. It's a soft cat.
We're gonna die.
We're going to the water.
Prepare to swim."
It's like, dude, where's the exit at? Yeah, dude. So I don't know. The community's sad about it. VRC is, their VRC 40 is standing down the last of the C2s, and everyone's going to transition to the V22. I don't know, man. What do you think? I know you've got a lot of experience riding the cod. So what do you think, man?
I'd probably feel safer in the cod than I would the Osprey.
100%.
I'm just curious, like room wise, how it had like on the carrier deck. How do you have room for the Osprey?
Well,
right, because you can't. What was it?
Everything. It's like a transformer, dude.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
Like the most complicated machine you could ever make.
Could the C2 land with everybody else, or they had to? It was always last, right? Or would it land?
Yeah, so a lot of times the cod would hold on the starboard side, which is the right side, whereas everybody else, correct, would come overhead the ship, and all the other air wing jets would break left and left-hand pattern. So the cod would wait until everybody was aboard, and then the cod would land. So, the cool thing about the cod community is like we obviously had C2s on the carrier, but they did not. Those pilots, even though they flew a very underwhelming, very important airplane, dude, they spent their entire cruise like in a nice hotel on the beach. They never did night traps, only day traps. So I remember in the middle of cruise thinking, who's the smart one? But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just curious because, like, if the C2 can land with everybody else, the Osprey probably cannot, because it's got a whole different bag of needs, right? Requirements with the spinny things, because it doesn't land. It never lands. It can never land full tilt rotor, right? It's always vertical. So it's always like a helicopter, which means
it's probably landing where the Starbird lands. I don't know if they figured it out yet, but I heard grumblings of the V22 load carrying capability isn't what the C2 is. One of the issues being if they need an F-35 engine, it won't fit in the V22.
Are they carrying F-35 engines in the C2?
I don't know. I just remember reading that.
Could they carry Hornet engines in the C2?
See, why not, dude? I mean, you were inside one.
Wasn't with an engine. It was configured for passengers.
Well, for people, yeah, but the volume of it, I mean, dude, it could carry a lot of stuff, right? It was a very versatile airplane. And being a conventional airplane, I looked up actually the cruise speed between the Osprey and the Cod were about the same, but I didn't notice the range. But I just wonder if the V22 is able to match the capability. I mean, you bring up a great point with just working within the other fixed wing assets in the air wing. How is that going to play out, given the fact that probably their crews will operate the same, meaning the only time you'll probably have a V22 on the carrier is if it's broken or it needs, to pick up something, because a lot of times, those guys are very rarely overnight on the boat either. So
what do they do? Like, how do they forward deploy and just make it along? Like, how do they get wherever they're going?
They'd ride on the boat with us. Like when we were blue water, there'd be a C2 on. Cause I remember one time specifically, man, we were a blue water ops, which means no land divert, which isn't saying much for a Hornet guy. But anyways, And there's a small cadre of civilians that work on the ship, and one of them had a heart attack, and he needed like the ship medical facility wasn't enough. They're like, we need to get this guy to a real hospital. And dude, they turn the ship around, they whatever, put the rods in, put the rods out, whatever it does to get the nuke stuff going. And they fired up the cod, topped the tanks off, and they got it was like a max range shot, dude. They put him on the cod and boom, and he he left. He went, they got him off, but
Did he live?
so I don't know. I assume so, because I think if he wouldn't have, we would have probably heard.
Let's hope.
But yeah, exactly. But as far as, I mean, I don't know. I just wonder if the V-22 performance wise can match the airplane that it's replacing. Cargo, range. Most of the time it wasn't very important because, I mean, dude, we spent a lot of time in the Gulf, right, doing our thing, or in the Indian Ocean or whatever. And so they would just, ping pong back and forth. And I imagine the V-22 is going to do the same. But I wonder if there are a lot of changes with as far as how the deck op works. Because, dude, the V-22, if you've ever seen one in person, dude, the rotors they're massive, man.
Our producer informs me that the C2 cannot carry an F-35 engine, but the Osprey can.
Really? How did I get that mixed up? Cash Out Brain?
Cash Out Brain.
Really?
Which the Osprey dudes will not have.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So the VA gets a break. Are you sure? I could have swore. I don't know.
Doug has ruled.
He has ruled. Well,
I has Googled.
Yeah. Yeah. What does AI always say when it makes a mistake? You're right to call me out on that. Gonky, it looks like you were actually right.
The Google says it's because of width, and that was part of the reason that they retired the C2 and adopted the CMB-22.
Really?
Girth.
Girthy.
Well, there
That ain't me, the girthy girl.
50% true, 10% true, right?
That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
All right. From the audience. Why are these still starred? It's crazy. Nope. See? That's what I'm talking about. StreamYard, you're not helping me here. Stop it. All right. I give up. It says, RM Nevada says, Congress isn't going to pass anything other than gas, and that has more to do with age than intent. Wow. Okay. Ryan says Apache as A-10 replacement. Go Army. The Army does not deserve the A-10.
Oh boy.
Just so you know.
Spoken like a true Air Force guy, mover.
That's right.
Just so you know.
That's true. Well, Afterburner says, and T-38 start with 65 serials.
That's
Are they
valid.
60?
Yeah,
Let's
65,
see.
67. Those
Were
were
there
ours.
62? Weren't there any of the early 60s or no?
Dude, I don't know. Probably.
I thought there was a 62.
There might have been.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably wrong. Ryan says V-22s have a bigger wow factor. Ooh, V-22 CAS. It's more like ew. Like, I'm a helicopter guy, and I don't understand that abomination.
Yeah.
I think Transformers ruined it for me. As they do with a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
All right, Gonky, you want to stop that here? Because it's been 2 hours and 26 minutes, and
Yeah, dude. Sure.
Luna says it's bedtime.
Oh, man.
Or did you want to cover the thing that's going to get us fired, or the NASCAR flyover that was okay?
It's up to you, sir. Listen, I'm along for the ride right now.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think we've created a show.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thank you everybody for watching. I mean, for it seemed to me like kind of a quiet evening, man. But
said the word.
questions were lively.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm trying to unstar them. I don't know why they haven't unstarred automatically. Maybe it's because
If only
Doug
we had a
usually does it.
producer, dude.
Yeah,
that
if
could
only there were someone who could do this
the
job that I'm
producer
doing right
could
now instead of.
unstar.
Can add it to the
I
job
think Doug went to
description.
bed.
Doug's like, I'm out.
Yeah,
It used to be automatic. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
yeah. It was always automatic for us.
Something.
Yeah,
Something
right.
about we haven't hit our.
It used to be automatic for me too.
Doug wants his entire job to be replaced by AI and not just part of it.
It only replaced about 2/3 of it tonight.
And we found errors. All right, folks. We appreciate your time. Doug,
Yeah,
thank you
so
for
much.
your service to our country. And
Same time, same place next week.
we hope so. Thanks, Karen, again.
Oh, Karen, thank you.
Karen, we really hope that you mean it.
I think she put it on a schedule.
That's okay.
Really?
Every
That's
30
fine.
Every 32 minutes.
Gonky needs burners.
It's like fuel
and
burn. It's like
Mover
it's like,
needs a Lancer 4P.
Yeah, you can tell who's the married guy here.
Well, maybe I can find a wife if I had one.
Maybe, I don't know. You
Yeah,
can get
chicks
his and
dig-
hers mover. His and
Chicks
hers.
dig dudes with planes, probably.
Yeah, and a working stove too. So I gotta get hopping on fixing that stove.
I only
So,
use the one
working
burner.
stove's
Like, I
important.
don't understand why you need 4 of them. Like, there's the small one, there's the slightly larger one. I just like.
Spoken like a true single man.
Nah,
I'm
dude, you're
envious, dude. I'm not
You're
knocking.
overcomplicated
This is
things.
from the man who
envious.
owns 2 air fryers.
I'm
By accident. All right. It wasn't on purpose, but you know what? I'll own it.
and at one time 3 cars.
I have 3 vehicles in my driveway right now.
I'm envious, mover. It's not. I'm not knocking. I'm envious. I want 2 air fryers and 3 cars just for me.
Luna, you forget
And a
about
dog.
her.
I don't want a dog. Yeah, exactly. Just for me.
Yeah. Well,
Correct.
yeah. Anyway. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody. See you next week.
night.
Enjoy the ride. Oh, wait, 66cc Rider says, I thought your channel turned professional. Tried.
Tried. Yeah. Trying.
We tried. I mean, I moved the sign. What else you want from me?
We did a complete 360 from unprofessional.
We did. We're back.
You know what? Again, I'm available for sponsorships by any airplane manufacturer
Or car.
or car, truck.
Actually, if
SUV.
any company that has money, mover,
Just send them
will
to-
strike a deal with you. It's like,
Yeah,
what is your product? Don't care. You have money. Mover
You're
will deal with you.
you're in. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks
night,
for watching.
everybody.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week.